pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brad, you have anything?
I mean, the only thing, I want to talk to Kevin, but I would like for the police department just to explore getting away from Caleb and that IT company.
Thinking the same thing. He, I've asked about the broadcast system. I'm supposed to have that. I signed that in April. And same thing, I keep calling the guy, the sales guy. I called him 3 times, texted Caleb, asked him about it, and same thing. Caleb's like, I've had this problem with them, they keep doing it to us. Their invoice that for them to get paid seemingly comes through without no problem at all. Never had a problem with that. So,
But I don't know how that would work. It's not bunched up by department. I mean, if
I'm not opposed to switching around
if the
either.
police department knocked off and you guys stayed with them, I mean,
No.
how do we figure out that of a?
what Nick came in here one time when they were setting those iPads up, that took 2 months to get done too, and they had me come over here, and Nick, his name not Nick, is Nick? Yeah, Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
Nick came in here and he was like, they needed access to one of the accounts that they already had access to, so they had me come over here, and I told them then, I was like, you guys, I'll tell you guys right now, you guys are on notice. I'm done. This is ridiculous. I said it took 2 months to get the iPad set up. Now you're still having issues with it. I'm like, Caleb has access to this. I mean, I told them straight out, and then they started, a little bit more. But then now with this broadcast stuff, it's already paid for, and I told them I didn't want it to take 3 months. And now here we are, the last meeting before the deadline, and we still don't have. I don't even know where it's at. I have no idea. So no, I'm with you. I think they've had plenty of leeway over the last.
I think our problem
year and a half.
falls like just my car cameras would have all kinds of issues, technical stuff, and when I call Motorola, they can't fix your stuff right away. But the guy called me today. He goes, hey, can you go out to your car? So this guy's from Dallas, Texas, real nice guy. He goes, I can do what I can do. He goes, but your IT guy has to get in. So I text Caleb, he goes, I'm not available. So he put, another guy got on, that doesn't know, and the problem with, Caleb keeps a lot of these secrets to himself that his workers don't know, like passwords, how to work on like the Cradle Point stuff, and it's just, my stuff, I mean, I got it worked out today, but it's every time that we have to deal with them, it's, no phone calls back, no text messages, no emails, it's just, it's frustrating. Do you know that IT guy in New Haven?
Jacob.
Yeah. I would like to explore a company because Jacob has helped us out with stuff in the past, and he goes, I can do a lot, but anyway. He could do more for us, but we don't have the passwords, the administrator stuff, which I should have. Even that guy from Motorola, he goes, you're the chief and you don't have access. I said, no.
Oh yeah. Same thing with me too. There was stuff that I was trying to update the fund, and you can't even update programs. So you have to log in with an administrator to do anything. Which I get it. If there was 30 people that worked at the city and everybody had access, of course you don't want everyone. But
Right.
when there's me and Rachel, and you and Joe are the only 2 people, or the only 4 people with stuff like that, you need to let off a little. You need to let off the reins a little bit. If we want to, so the biggest thing on our end, I don't think we have an issue with anything here. I think that they can handle everything at City Hall. At a new company could probably take over immediately. I don't think it's a huge deal because all our stuff is super basic. I think it's just you two that have the more complicated systems.
Be his. But mine is not. Mine is two places that have a SCADA system running through it. Because I'll be honest, we agreed to pay for a study to be done to move away from SCADA, but into our own system here, to where we had access for everything at the sewer and everything at the water plant. But a guy came out and went through everything, but I have no. That's been probably a year ago. I've never seen that report come through. at all, probably been longer than a year ago. Remember
He did come, I remember that.
Yeah, he came out and he went through all the servers, went through all my equipment, went through everything to make sure that, you know, hey, let's make this more user friendly where we can, at nighttime or literally during the day, we can make a lift station hold longer than a day till it gets to peak AP hours or peak demand says, hey, rates are cheaper, and we can make it run. You know, all that stuff and make stuff operate more efficiently.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that's probably been 2 years ago now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Who did that?
It was somebody with Caleb. Yeah.
Caleb, yeah, he came out and sat at a meeting and.
I don't think we ever paid for it. I mean, 'cause I've never seen anything. But I don't see Caleb. I don't see the bill. I don't see his bills come through other than just the monthly fee.
That's all it is now. Back
Yeah.
last year when they introduced that, it's just one flat fee now. We can use them as much as we want, so we're paying the same
We both
amount.
said something about, we didn't like that idea.
I'm not worried about the police department side jumping ship, because if we, you know, if we go with that, I don't even know what company it is, but we're all on the same system, the whole county's on the same system. I mean, we use the same radios, we use the same watch guard in-car cameras.
You're coming to Woodburn server.
Yeah,
That's where they'd have to be the same group
Okay.
as
Well,
everybody else.
I'll call them and tell them.
Because otherwise you have two people with
Chris
server
can
access.
give you all that information.
Oh, I think Chris Keener, didn't she,
I probably had the info, but
it's been a while ago.
yeah. If you get it to me again, I'll call the new place, get prices, and if it's something similar to that, I'll just put Caleb
And I
on
don't
notice
know what
and tell
kind
him
of,
that.
you know, he's up there 40 hours a week. You know, where if we could get on something where, you know, if we use them, then we get charged, I don't know. But I can drive to New Haven PD to get my stuff worked on. It's
Yeah.
like, I can't go anywhere to Caleb to get it worked on. It's just,
What are we paying a month, the flat fee?
It's like right at $2,600. I think it's $25.99, which is, I think it comes out to be just a little bit more than what we were paying anyway, just before we got on that plan. But the plan before, some months it would be $800, the next month it'd be $3,600. So
Yeah.
just depending how much we used them, you know, to go out and do stuff. But it came out to be not that much more. It was like $2,000 more. I look back the last couple of years when I remember correctly, it was like just a couple $1,000s more than what we had already been spending anyway. But this was, you knew what we knew we could budget for it and exactly what it was going to be every single month, and we didn't have to worry about it.
Because I gotta come out tomorrow to redo the computer at the water plant, so, cause it's starting to go down, so. But we have all the other little computers here, so.
I'm good with that. If you give me the information again, I'll contact him. If you want to give me somebody's information or even the name of the company, if you know it.
I could have Christine send you,
Okay.
email you.
Okay.
Because like I said, I don't know what kind of price difference we're looking at. I mean,
Well, it's even if we don't find, I mean, having that guy be able to have access to that stuff without having to jump through hoops to get the access. 'Cause it is
if
fr-
I
it- it
had
is frustrating.
access and he worked on our stuff and he says, well, I gotta give you a bill for $500, I don't care.
It is frustrating.
I got
to work
my
on
stuff
something.
fixed.
I don't have access to it, you gotta wait for them to call back in for access.
Well, yeah, I don't want to pay Caleb and somebody else.
Yeah, it's not like we use them.
Yeah.
You're paying two guys anyway.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
It's
And
not-
I think Caleb's had. I mean, I've had at least 2 or 3 talks with him, and I know before there was a whole situation. So it's like, I mean, how much can you do to, you know? I mean, I understand you helped out for a long time, and there were, you know, past relationships, but it's like.
I think we still have him if
So
we're in storage,
much.
but we don't have him.
Yeah.
We have the other,
He's got too big to
he's got,
worry about.
yeah.
Well, then he sold out.
Yeah. Yeah, he did sell it to.
Oh, he did
Force
sell
Tech.
it.
Yeah, that new company's called Force Tech.
But he sold, but they're combined, like, that Force Tech does like audio visual. And then Caleb still does the
IT stuff.
IT stuff. I'll get you that info, that's all I had,
I'll reach out to them, and then.
I was gonna talk about it tonight anyway, and then 2 hours on the phone, or today is like, I'm definitely talking about it.
Well, I think if it's something close, I think before, it's weird, I don't think we ever even signed that contract with Caleb, now that I'm thinking about it. I think they just started billing us under a new thing, but I don't know if we ever even signed anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
So if we don't have anything, I think we just
Yeah.
give them a month and See if they'll
Well,
help.
it was
new
very
company.
awkward discussing it with him in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have.
Do you
a
remember
chance to
that?
Yeah,
discuss
yeah,
it
he was
at all.
over here.
Yeah, it was just,
But I mean, I'm assuming that that company will probably have to transition, help the new company transition, and getting
Oh, yeah, it has to.
password management and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, figure out what we have and what we don't have.
Yeah. So
All right, I'll have them send you that info.
okay, thanks.
That's all I had.
Brian?
Couple quick things. I did send Kevin and Joe the quote for the generator out here. I don't remember what it was. It was over like around 5,000, wasn't it?
I don't know. I can't remember. I'd have to pull it up here.
The transfer switch out here is bad. You remember the night that we had we lost power here, the generator was running, and we didn't realize we lost power here, couldn't figure out why the generator was running. But when the AP, or I guess it was Asplin, hooked the power back up, they said it took about 40 to 50 minutes for this transfer switch to switch back. And they said it was really loud. So I was actually on my way here, and they said it finally switched. So I had Everpar look at it when they were here. He ran the test, thing ran fine, it was nice and quiet. I mean, it's loud when it transfers anyway, but it was not, it was a normal transfer switch, and it worked just perfectly. It was literally 2 days later that generator was running. I think maybe they were here on a Friday, and that Monday the thing was out here running, and it ran all day long. And they came back out and looked at it, and it was showing no power from the system, or from the AP, but it had power. The module inside the transfer switch was bad. So apparently he was doing it before, but when he had to come out and run a test, it was working fine. I was literally just here and it was working fine. Like, I know I stood there and watched him do it. Everything worked fine, but I don't remember what the price was.
It's $41.83.
Yeah, for the transfer switch. So
That's the part and the labor.
labor, yeah.
What
We
are
need to
coming
vote on that, or?
Hmm?
We need to do anything,
Yeah, I mean,
just make a motion and.
well, my first question is that 100% on us?
do we have some sort of?
Yeah, is that-
I don't know.
yeah.
Jeff?
I will say this, you probably should be like cost share, possibly brought up to him if he would help pay for some of that. We put all this stuff in here, we did do that, we paid for lines to come over here. But like you said, technically it's not our building, we just had a spare generator, a transfer switch. And
Basically, they benefited from it.
yeah, this under our emergency management plan, this building, whole entire building becomes basically city controlled when, on our emergency management plan, emergency management, and you guys have full control over it. So that's why the generator's put in for the sleeping arrangements,
Right,
massive
right.
emergency, you know what I'm saying? You got, some massive emergency, this building becomes
Yeah.
your guys' central hub. So,
Well, I think it goes. They're talking about getting new carpet in here too, and it's the same thing of, it's their building, but we mainly use it. How much do you split the cost on something like
Yeah.
that? How much falls on him and how much? I mean, he's in here. He's in
What
one office, and we're using 90%. What's fair?
What, do we pay $1 a year?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think that's the thing we've always maintained everything here in this part of the building. I know that generator does everything in here, but
Can you talk with Jeff and just
Yeah.
see what he says, and then maybe next,
I mean, we gotta get it fixed.
we gotta get it
Yeah,
fixed.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see.
So, needs fixed, 'cause right now it's,
Have
right
it
now,
fixed and then talk to him about,
I'm assuming they probably have to have some sort of money set out for building maintenance as well. I doubt that he has zero set
Yeah,
for it. So,
yeah.
and we're already halfway through the year, so.
yeah. Right now we turn the generator back on, and generator fire up and run. It doesn't think there's any power coming into the building, so. So right
So
now,
it's
this
out of
building,
service, really?
this building does not have generator backup service right now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's turned off. So we lose power, we gotta go over and,
Well, I'll make a motion that we get it repaired and then check with the township to see if they can't help pay for part of the cost.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Okay. Yeah, I'll talk with them and see.
and then update, we met with, Commonwealth on the water asset management and then the water study, system study. I got a lot of information that I gotta get to them, just about to be rounding all the information up, and so we had a kickoff meeting one day last week. I think maybe it was Friday last week, or Thursday, whatever day it was. But we had that, gathering information and get it sent to them, and they're moving forward with all that stuff, so. It'll be a process. Keep in mind, you guys can think of anything that your future wish list of any sort of thing with the water side of it.
Well,
A looping system, I mean, most of it we're all probably already, but.
we're still having problems out here on Woodburn Road as far as water main breaks.
This way?
Yes.
We're up in this little main section right here, well, most of it's stainless steel now. Not too bad here the last few years, but now you said something, we'll probably, most of them are out, most of them that we've had have been Bull Rapids Road and, 101, towards Love's. Those have been the majority lately, but yes, this road here, 101 that way, loop into 101, you know, and to be honest with you, Woodburn Road, that direction also was a bad one.
Up to Hetrick, you mean?
Yeah. So, but some of them that have a lot, and they wanted that too, but all the repair clamp locations we got are all mapped out, so they know what sections are vulnerable, and yeah, our biggest downside is how to get a second loop into the city. You know, we never be able to afford that unless we grew out that direction. Because right now you have one line in the city, right down the main drag.
Because, right, but I mean, they hooked up 101 off of Hetrick, correct? That's looped.
Yeah, and everything in town is pretty much looped. This addition's not looped, and the out by the industrial park down Maumee Center Road's not looped. They're not connected back that way. That would have a major usage area. There's a couple of areas that I would say we should work on getting looped, but those are future projects. They're looking for a long expansion project, so they're wanting to know all that stuff and potential areas, and they'll identify potential areas of possible construction, housing additions and stuff like that, so they can kind of get an idea what's going on.
How's that leak finder thing, if we moved it?
I haven't moved it yet. I'm getting all, we got one more under Bull Rapids Road. I'm just monitoring to make sure it's a leak. So, but yeah, no, it works great. So,
Awesome.
yeah, it pings them great. So,
Have you serviced hydrants yet, or?
no, I've not. No, they're still on my list. I got the lift stations. All lift stations are up to snuff now. Halo was my last one to get the last pump put in. So
Now, what were we gonna do about the locates? Can you refresh my memory on that?
well, we were talking about bringing their person on. Basically, all their job would be to do locates, but I haven't got Kevin any of that information.
Would this be a part-time position or a full-time position?
He'd probably be full time.
I think we did
Yeah,
full time.
we budget for a full-time position for that. I mean, 'cause there's days that 20 or 30 locates come in, and, right now, I mean, I'm getting about 5 or 6 a day, so it's not bad, but I'll be honest, I have not responded to their response thing. I go locate them, but I don't get back on there and respond that it's located. Actually, I attempted to, but I can't on my phone. I have to be, you have to sign up and register for it. I'm like, no, you guys just open the access for me. I'm already signed up and registered, you can just open it, so I can do it. So, but I come to find out, we're definitely not the only, no city or town is really doing it, because unless they hired some utility company to do it, no one's doing it, because you gotta sign up and register. So, but yeah. No, that's on me getting Kevin's stuff, I just haven't. So yeah, I gotta do the water audits here too, so I gotta get that stuff done too, so. But, yeah, I'll put that on the hydrants here shortly, because the mowing, hopefully the rain slows down so they can slow down the mowing. So, getting to be that time of season, so.
Well, I'll probably have to have a refresher on Silversmith. Okay. It's
Yeah,
been a while.
Yep. So, gotta get all that stuff updated and changed over, so.
Anything else?
That is all I have. I don't know what was on the agenda.
Raises and insurance.
Business.
Yeah, just raising.
And those are more for the, I guess on that aspect is you guys will do the final approval for that, I would guess. Is that how that works? Council approves the,
I don't know, I
How
can't do it.
much?
They
how
approve
much,
the
how
rate.
much the table
Yeah,
approve, yeah.
Yeah, we approved
And then
the
you
actual.
guys do the final approval, actually giving what's there, I think. So
Based
anyway,
on recommendations of you two.
yeah, I think it's more of a, right now, that ordinance needs changed, and instead of waiting till, we got till, not October, but we don't wanna wait till October to talk about an ordinance that needs to be changed, because,
We're gonna have pre-budget stuff here done, like,
Yeah.
at the end of this month.
so, in order for the guys getting time raises, if we're even eligible, like I said, we don't know what the tax bill thing's doing here, but we have to have that ordinance changed, otherwise nobody can get them, cause they're all, everybody's, well, me and Brad can get them, everyone's not topped out,
Okay.
actually, so, but everybody else is topped out, I think.
There's a few guys that are and a few guys that aren't, but the way the positions are, the guys, some that are in the category of some guys that are not, so you have to raise it either way because
Yeah.
because one guy is, but one guy isn't, so you still have to raise the top
Yeah. so
number.
I think that's more where we're at this stage of what we're wanting to make sure we get that, just raised up.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think a bottom is fine, the bottom it could be
Well, I
zero.
updated
but-
everything. Everything should be updated
Yeah,
to work for what we have now.
Yeah.
So those are the two ordinances there are the drafts, and then I have one of everybody's name printed out with how much the actual amount would be for each person. So that and insurance, I just don't know what we're gonna do about
yeah,
that.
the insurance thing was more along the lines of, right now we have the task card
Yeah.
of $1,000. And the idea was maybe raising that up to help out, for the insurance, people who are, that want the insurance, but we don't offer it because some of us don't want it. And
Well, just
I know the guys who aren't wanting it are slowly gonna be leaving here within the next several years. I mean, John's gonna be leaving, I don't know if we even got John for another year yet, I don't know how long we got him. He's eligible to retire at any point in time, so. I don't know how much longer Fred will be here, but there's two of them right there that didn't want it, and Joe's another one that didn't want it, and, to my knowledge, we only got a few more years with him, and then I'm the other one that didn't want it. And I think Brad was the other one, too. So we're all kind of getting to that stage where I was thinking, well, maybe we need to do something to keep and entice people to stay and, and be
Or
here.
to get new hires, I mean.
And, you need to bring in higher, so we got something else to offer. I think that's where we were kind of going with the insurance part. Not that bad insurance, because I really still, I'll tell you, I still don't want the insurance. I prefer, like I have it through my wife, so I don't want to pay here and there.
Well, I think everybody who got hired in wasn't offered insurance, so the only people that could take the job are people that got it through their spouse,
Yeah.
and now they have it through their spouse. And if we get insurance, those people are getting kicked off the spouse's insurance. Then you have to have two different insurances, and then also hiring people. Yeah, I mean, I had probably 3 people out of the 12, or 4 people out of 12 asked me about insurance. So.
And I'll say, it is what it is. If we have to do the insurance to keep people, then it is what it is. I mean, I don't want it, but it is what it is. I mean, I understand that
My idea was
we're not gonna have them.
jacking the task card up to cover what insurance would cost, because we're only paying for it for 11 people. So,
Basically, help eat up a deductible from the other side.
yeah, basically if your spouse
Yeah.
gets insurance, you cover your premiums from your spouse's insurance. So you're getting insurance, but you're not getting,
But I don't know what we can even do with that. We don't even know if we can raise that up to, if it would make a difference or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I tried calling the task people to ask about that, and I went through like 10 prompts to get to somebody, and it was someone who did not speak English very well. So,
So do we need to do anything with this at this
I don't
point?
think so then.
No.
I just kind of want you guys to be aware of like that raises are, I mean, obviously last year there was no raises, so I don't know.
And this year we got the whole tax revenue thing issue going on, so I don't,
Yeah.
till we even know any of that, it's just tough to do a whole lot. But this is more of a talking phase we got going on here, I guess, more of a talking thing. Make sure we're all kind of all on the same page for when it comes around.
I don't want to pre-budget for something and then we get to October and then we have to go back and change the budget or do whatever else. I'd
Right.
rather start talking about it now, that way when it comes up, everybody has it, everyone knows about it, and that's the idea, that's my idea, it's a rough draft of what I had, and we can go based on that. So, but it's important for you, I think it's important for you guys to know.
Yeah. Minutes?
Look good to me.
Good with the minutes.
Pretty simple, aren't they?
Yeah.
It wasn't much.
I'll make a motion.
I will second it. We're all in favor.
All in favor. All present in favor, and there's also payroll there for you guys to sign.
Alright.
You see his paperwork, you see that?
I didn't read it. I just printed it up today.
He showed me the other day. Basically, 5% across the board.
That's all it was, yeah. And then everybody, and then the top dollars up in the ranges, I try to plan out for like 3 years. Some of it was not exactly right, just kind of based on $2,500 versus 2,501 or something. So it's not exactly 15%, but it's somewhere around there. Just that I like keeping things simple, especially if I'm going to be here for another, this year and 2 more after that. That way, the only one that we'd have to change, because that was a pain in the ass, I'll tell you that. Trying to figure out how Tim figured out each of the ranges, it was a total freaking mystery. So I did my best, and then
I don't think it'd be that hard though.
the only one we'd have to change, the only one that I kept that exactly the number to what the raise would be is the full-time guys. Because if we raise it up 15%, we have to pay all that money into in-purse. We'll have to pay whatever the max salary is, we have to pay the 20.1% into that. No matter what they're getting paid, we have to pay the max. So we have to pass another one each year, but that's the only category we'll have to change is the full-time guys. Whatever the amount the raise is gonna be, we'll make that the range, and that'll be it.
Full-time PD guys.
Yeah, full-time police guys, which there's 2, so
You have anything?
I do not.
Alright.
I do not.
Nope, I'm good.
Nothing else? I say we adjourn.
I'll
I'll make a motion.
Who's on the council meeting?